Alrighty, what's going on, boys? Welcome back to Renovated. Today in this video we have Daytona round 8 for you all. This is heat race now when I'm on the gate. But yeah, we're going to be watching the heat race. We're going to be watching the main event as per usual. If you've watched these race videos before, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know what goes on. You'll know what happens. But yeah, same thing. Just going to be popping in every now and then as the heat race goes on. And then same thing with the main event as well. I'll be popping in and out as the main goes on. But yeah, hope you guys do enjoy. Let's get on to the video. Two people did jump start in this, so they ended up restarting it. So I'll see you guys on the gate after they restart.
Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
So yeah, we got off to a pretty mid start, considering we were in 4th after or before the red flag. So yeah, a bit of a mid start, but it is what it is. We're still 10th, I believe we were. Jake's done a backflip. Dorian hit his rear fender down, sent him into a backflip, and he landed it and still got the on-off, which is absolutely crazy. But we're in full X Games mode. Managed to do a backflip on-off in the start of a heat race. It's gnarly. But yeah, managed to get an okay start. Top 10 start in a heat race, you can work with that. You just got to push up a little bit. And yeah, that's what we did. Just tried to focus on making some early moves. Because yeah, this track was very, very hard to push on because in, a bad start. I basically just tried to counter from people's mistakes. So a lot of people were making mistakes, obviously, making mistakes of my own. But I just wanted to try and be consistent. I didn't want to push too hard. This track was a lot harder when you push. Like, the harder you push, the worse the track is, basically. So you've just got to find a flow, just got to be consistent. So I was more trying to go off the bat of be consistent and just, make moves when I can. And just when people crash, take that as my position because, I wasn't in a hurry to win the heat races. I'm never worried about winning the heat races. Obviously, if the win is there, like I've shown, if the win is there, I'll try and win it. But obviously, if I'm in like 8th, 9th, I'm just trying to make my way up into a comfortable position and then just bring it on home after that point, to be honest. Heat race is a heat race. If you're in, you're in. That's it. Yeah, we got our way up into 6th, and yeah, I was just kind of holding that pace by then. Little mistake there in the sand, just went out wide, went into tough blocks, thought, keep the throttle on, should be able to get through it, but no, went over the bars. Didn't lose any position from that, but at this point, I just wanted to pull away from the guys behind me. If you look at the map on the right, everyone is very, very close. Like, 1 or 2 mistakes, 1 or 2 crashes, and you could be outside the top 9, like, in a second, so... yeah, I was basically at this point just trying to get away from them. I wasn't really too worried about catching up to people in front. I just wanted to pull a gap on the guys behind me so I can, relax a little bit. And then Adam is down on that rhythm there. That gets me up into 5th with about 2 laps to go. So I was like, okay, cool. Just sort of pull away a little bit now. And yeah, just try and hold on to the 5th place. I am on a new setup. Well, it wasn't really a new setup. What I've done is I basically put my motocross suspension rear end onto my supercross like suspension. I did a little bit of practice. There was an open practice up the night before on 2024 Daytona, so last year's one. And I basically just did a little bit of suspension testing, just put my outdoors rear suspension on my supercross setup, and it made it a lot better in the bumps. It wasn't like skipping over the bumps, it was actually like soaking it up a bit more. So I think I made the right changes to my supercross setup. I don't like to change too much. But I thought for Daytona, it's a very, very rough track. So yeah, I wanted to have a bit of a softer setup, and I'm glad I did change it. It felt good. It felt comfortable in the bumps and everything like that, which is nice. And I also changed the gear in a little bit as well. I made 2nd a little bit longer and 3rd a little bit shorter, because normally I have a short 2nd to get me around the track, and then a longer 3rd for the whoops. But because you're in 2nd and 3rd a lot more on this track because it's a lot longer. There's a lot of straights, you are up into 3rd a lot, so yeah, I thought I'd make them 2 gears longer, and also that felt good as well. So I think I made the right changes to the bike, which is nice. And then yeah, coming down the final straight bit now, P5 in the heat race, which I'll take. I'm happy with that, as long as I'm like in a decent position, made it through. That's all I'm really worried about. But yeah, 5th in the heat, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the gate for the main. yeah, I basically saw Lindsay's jump and was like, yeah, I'm not even going to bother. So I'm going to cut underneath. And then Henrique, I think it was, he's on like 250 ping, yeeted Kens across the map. And then also like flung me down to the floor. So really, really annoying start. And then you just got to do the usual thing where you just bounce your way through and hope no one else is hitting some gnarly random quads that aren't even possible on the first lap, because that's what people love to do. But yeah, just trying to survive basically the opening lap. But yeah, that's Daytona for you. It's very, very sketchy. Everyone's all over the place, and it just goes into survival mode for the first lap, really. That was annoying. Came right over to my line and then had to check up so I can get it a triple. And then couldn't get around Tiger Hill. I was right behind him, so I had to check up in the sand. And again, made another mistake there, which is a little bit annoying. But I just had to get past everyone. I didn't want to get stuck behind and fall into their pace. I had to keep making moves. But we had some rather sketchy people that would love to just take your line away, drag you out wide, cross jump you. All of the above, basically. So it was very, very sketchy for the first lap or two. So yeah, managed to make some passes there, break away from the pack behind me, and then focus on just charging from, charging towards the guys in front of me. I'm not sure what Brad was doing. He was turning around, obviously, but he took up a lot of room. Like, he was literally using like that entire jump phase to turn around. But it's what it is. We didn't hit him. It's fine. But yeah, then we just charged, focused on the guys in front, and yeah, managed to catch these guys up. But then hit a tough block, made my own mistake again because I was pushing too hard. This track, like I said during the heat race, this track is a lot worse when you're pushing. The harder you push, the harder the track is. So yeah, I was pushing and pushing, trying to catch up to the guys, but then obviously that's when the mistakes start to come in. But we keep pushing. I didn't want to settle to this pace because I needed to move up in positions, basically. Yeah, we've got a whole lot of wheel spin coming out of that corner, so we had to mess up basically half of that ribbon, but we lost a little bit of time, but we had to keep pushing, trying to catch up to the guys in front. The track was very, very hard, just kept making little mistakes out of that just because I was pushing super hard. Yeah, if you guys ride this track, don't take the left side of the whoops. It is so sketchy. Either take that middle line, the little like low rut in the middle, or take the far right side. That left hand side was really bad. You couldn't skim it properly, you couldn't jump it. It was really, really awkward. But yeah, a little mistake, and then we make another little mistake here as well. I was getting a little bit frustrated this time. I was like, I'm trying to push so hard to catch up. I keep making mistakes, but I can't stop pushing to not make mistakes because then I'll be losing more time anyway. So yeah, I was a little bit frustrated that I was really struggling to move up, but I was trying my absolute hardest just to push as much as I possibly could. I wanted to try and make some moves before the E-road got really, really bad. Managed to get around Ken's after he went down, and then managed to pass Brad as well after he made a mistake. So yeah, managed to get up into P12, I believe we're in now. And then Dorian was about 2 seconds up the road, so yeah, I had to push to try and catch Dorian now. Yeah, so going forwards about 3 laps or so now. Managed to get around Boy after he went down, and then we spent about 2 or 3 laps charging to catch up to Dorian. And I knew at that point I had the pace over him. Obviously, catching up with him in about 2 laps or so, I knew I was going quicker. So I basically just wanted to get ahead of him and pull away a little bit. But yeah, you guys will see that we had some intense battles going on the entire race. We never had a breather in this race, not once. And then I knew that was a mistake as soon as I took off. I thought I would be able to get a trip out of that, but I didn't want to take Dorian out at the same time, so I kind of half-assed it a little bit and just didn't quite get over it. But we didn't lose too much time. We managed to catch up to Dorian, and we managed to pass him again a couple of corners later, which is good. And then I don't even know what that was. I went too high in the rut maybe, or the rut carried you over. I watched a little bit of NA, I watched a bit of Chase's stream, and I think he did that about 3 times. So I think that rut basically just sends you over it. So if you go into it too quick, it pretty much just wants to put you over it, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, we lost 2 positions from that one crash, which again shows you how close the battle in the racing was. And then the same thing happens to Dorian, so I managed to get around him again. And yeah, still at this point, I knew I had the pace over Brad and Dorian. I was just making little mistakes where I was losing time. Just little things like that where you lose like 0.2 or 3 of a second. But I knew I was quicker, so I kept on pushing. I never gave up. Yeah, then Brad went down, and then I make a little mistake on this jump here. And yeah, I lose a lot of time there to Dorian. So Dorian manages to get around me. But again, we just stick on to him and try and pass him again. So yeah, get past KFC, and then at this point Dorian has cuts, so I'm up into P9, P10 on track, but P9 on cuts. So I basically knew I had to just stick to Dorian. I knew I had the pace over him, so I wanted to just stay near him and just actually try and pass him. KFC, I believe, is a 250 rider, and you can tell that as soon as you get near him. You can tell that he is just one of the aggressive 250 guys. You see that later on in the race as well, where he tries to make moves. But yeah, you can kind of tell the way he rode that he's from the 250 group. You just can tell. And then yeah, this was one of the other moves. Instead of just trailing behind Dorian, you know, check up a little bit, follow him in the rut. No, he hits him from behind. Then all 3 of us make a mistake, and all 3 of us mess up the rhythm, and that allows Brad to catch up to us. So again, not a very smart move, but I mean, it's what it is. No one went down. We didn't lose too much time from it. And I just wanted to get around KFC at this point. Dorian was pulling away a little bit. I had to keep checking up, making my own little mistakes because I had to keep checking up for KFC. So yeah, I just wanted to get past him as quick as I possibly could because I didn't want Dorian to get away because I knew Dorian had cuts. So if I just stayed near him, I knew I could beat him. But I just couldn't get around KFC. I just could not pass him. Yeah, he makes mistakes, so I managed to get around KFC, and then we're right on the back of Dorian now. and he makes a little mistake in the whoop, so I go for an aggressive move up the inside, and yeah, managed to get the move on him. So yeah, good pass. And this was actually the last lap, so yeah, managed to make the move on him, and then final corner, Dorian comes diving up the inside, you know, makes a move on me again after I made the move on him at the start of the lap, but I knew I had him on cut, so I wasn't too worried. I wasn't going to push it. He doubled that to try and make up as much time as he could, but yeah, I just come across the line. I knew I had him, launched it just to make sure I could solidify it, but yeah, managed to get a P9, which I'm okay with. You guys saw how that race went. A bit sketchy, stuck behind people every now and then, made my own little mistakes pushing too hard at the start. So yeah, I'm not blaming that race on anyone else. I made my own mistakes, which was a little bit annoying. Dorian put good race in the chat as well, so good race, Dorian. I did enjoy that. It was definitely some fun racing. That track was actually quite enjoyable to race, but P9, I'll take that. I believe I'm like 4 points off of P7 in points or something right now, so yeah, we're making moves. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace.